friends, I'm Nell, and I'm in here today just to show you how to make the first row of this beautiful flower stitch. So whether you are making a kerchief size or you are making something as large as a shawl, we are going to start the same exact way, and I'm going to show you how to do it here today. So we're actually going to be starting we're going to start along the edge with the tie. So I'm going to show you how to start that. So as you see in our pattern calls for a chain made in multiples of 12 plus the number 3. So I'll show you why we've added that 3 here in just a second, but we want to make sure that we have chained in multiples of 12, whatever size we are planning to make. And the reason for that is because this multiple is going to take 12 chains to sit into to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the very end of our chain. And just like our pattern says, we're going to start with that modified bobble stitch. So to make that, we need to go into this third stitch from our hook. So we're going to yarn over twice because we're going to be putting a treble crochet in there. And then we're going to go into that third chain from hook. And we're going to yarn over, draw through the loop. So we have 4 on the hook. We'll yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over, draw through 2. So there's that first treble crochet, and that chain counts as 1, or as our first treble crochet. Then we'll yarn over twice, just like we did before. We'll go into that same chain stitch, and we'll yarn over and pull that second treble crochet. So now we have 3 treble crochet stitches there, and they're all on the hook together. Now, just like the pattern says, we're going to keep that final loop of each treble crochet on the hook, and that's what's going to make this into a bobble stitch. And we're actually putting 3 bobble stitches together. So from here, we're going to skip the next 3 chains. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. My next stitch is going to go into this 4th chain here. So I'm going to yarn over twice because I'm going to put that treble crochet bobble in there, and I'm going to go into that 4th chain. From there, I'll yarn over, draw up those loops, yarn over, whoops, there we go, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I've got 4 loops on my hook now. I'm just going to keep collecting those loops. So I'll yarn over twice, back into this stitch, yarn over, draw up that loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook. One more time for this bobble. So we'll yarn over twice, back into that same chain, yarn over, draw up the loop, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through twice. There I've got my 6 loops on the hook. So that's 1 loop for each treble crochet in both bobbles. So 3 treble crochets in each bobble means we've got 6 treble crochets, which means 6 loops on the hook. So we've got 3 more to go because this is a triple. So we're going to count 3 more stitches over. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go into this 4th stitch. We'll yarn over twice, going into that 4th stitch. We'll draw up that loop. Make sure that chain doesn't get stuck in there. Draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2 more. So now we need to make those 2 more in that stitch. So we'll yarn over twice. Whoops. Go back into that same stitch, yarn over again, working that treble crochet. 1 more treble crochet. So we're all the way up to 8 loops on the hook. Last one, yarn over twice into the same stitch there. We'll yarn over, working that treble crochet. And as you can see, now I have 9 loops on my hook, 1 for each treble crochet. So from here, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to draw through all 9 loops on my hook, and you'll see how it kind of gathers them together. So from here, we'll yarn over and work that slip stitch to close the bobble. And you'll see you've got your first 3 petals made here. So on this bottom row, we're actually going to make one more petal before we move on to the next set. So from here, we're going to chain 3. So 1, whoops, split my yarn, 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I've got my chain 3 up, so that's going to create my height. It's also going to count as my first treble crochet. So from here, I'm going to yarn over twice. I'm going to go into this slip stitch here. So you see this little piece right here at the end of the stitch. That is the side of your slip stitch, and that is what we are going to go into here. We'll yarn over and work that treble crochet, leaving that last loop on the hook just like we did before. We'll put one more into there, so we'll take one more treble crochet, yarning over twice, going back into the side of that slip stitch and working that treble right there. So I've got my 3 loops on the hook. I've got my 3 treble crochets. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3, making a bobble stitch here. So from here, I need to go back down on my chain because I need to attach this petal to the side. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. This 4th stitch is my stitch. So I'm going to go into this stitch, that fourth chain, and I'm just going to work a single crochet. And as you can see, that'll bring us to that half flower. And actually, it's more than half the flower because on the bottom row, we build 4 of the 6 petals. So continuing on from here, we would just continue with the next set. So back into that loop here. Starting from here. Now, because this first one is a little bit different and we don't have that chain 3 up, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that in. So we're going to chain 3 here, 1, 2, and 3. That's where that extra 3 comes from in that initial chain. So we've got that chain 3. And then here's the bit that's a little bit tricky. So you're going to go into the side of the stitch here. So instead of working under the top like we usually would, what we're going to do is we're going to work into the side of the stitch. So we're going to yarn over twice because we're going to put a treble crochet in there. And we're going to go right between those front bars and pick up that back bar as well, coming into the side of that stitch, just like that. Then we'll yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, and now you can see we've got that treble crochet right there in the side of our stitch. So we'll yarn over and we're going to do that one more time. So we'll go right back into that same place. We'll yarn over, we'll draw up those loops. Whoops. Don't worry if you drop it, just grab it back up. Pulling through and working that treble crochet. So there are those first 3 treble crochets just like we did with the last one. Now remember, we're going to do that modified bobble stitch here, or we're going to do that triple bobble stitch here. So we're going to skip the next 3 chains, leaving these 3 loops on the hook. We'll yarn over twice because we're doing trebles. So after we skip those 3, let's see, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to go into this 4th stitch. We'll work that, we'll work that bobble stitch, getting in there. There we go. Working that bobble stitch. So 1 loop, yarn over twice, back into the same chain. 2nd treble, 2 loops there, so 5 in total on the hook. 1 more in this bobble, yarning over twice, going back into the same chain, working that treble crochet there, leaving that last loop on the hook. So now we've got 6. We're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, going into this 4th stitch. So we'll yarn over twice, going into the 4th, and yarning over and working that bobble one more time here. So we'll need to put 3. There's the first, yarning over, back in the same chain, working that second bobble, and one more. And there we have it. So there we go. Back to those 9 loops on the hook, just like with that first repeat. We'll yarn over and we'll draw through all 9 loops on the hook and then work that little slip stitch to close it right up. And we can see how we've got those 3 petals worked right next to our 4. So we've got that last little piece to work here. So coming over to make that last petal here, we'll start at that slip stitch and we're going to chain up 1, 2, and 3. So we've got that height. Remember, that counts as our first treble there. We'll yarn over twice, going into the side of that slip stitch, right where it pulls them all together, that little gathering stitch, right into the side there, working that bobble stitch. So putting those 2 treble crochets that we're not quite finishing. Remember, we're leaving that last loop on. So we've gathered those 3 loops. We'll yarn over and pull through all 3, working that final petal. And now we just need to attach it. Remember, that magic number to skip is 3, so we'll skip 1, 2, and 3, working into this 4th stitch. We'll place our single crochet here. There we go. Working that single crochet here. And as you can see, we've got those 2 first flower bases all worked. So we'll work this all the way across, just like working that second one. And then I'll meet you back for working that row number 3. Hope that helped, guys. Give it a try. Let me see how you go. See you soon. Bye.